Hello everyone and welcome to another session of Office Hours. My name is Adrian. Today I want to walk you through the process of setting up your NPS funnel. We did do this last week, but I want to make sure that both time zones or both sides of the world, however, get this valuable information and have access to this particular knowledge. I think an NPS funnel is something that most businesses should definitely consider implementing. And in this session of Office Hours, I am going to share with you why. If you are joining me for Office Hours, just go into the comments section. I have it open here, and if you have questions at any point, you can post them there. But just go in there, let me know you're on the stream, and say hi. So this session is being recorded. Will be posted to YouTube. It will be posted to Groundhog Academy as well. So if there is anything that you want to revisit in this particular session, you'll be able to see that on those channels. So what is NPS? Well, NPS stands for Net Promoter Score. And essentially, Net Promoter Score is just a method to gauge customer satisfaction. So if you've ever signed up for a service and then maybe 30 days later you received an email that says, how likely are you to recommend my product to a colleague or a friend or your neighbor or whoever? And that is a typical way of gauging customer satisfaction. It's usually on a scale of 0 through 10. If you rate them 1 through 5, you're probably not going to recommend their service to someone else. If you rank maybe 7 to 10, you are more likely, and therefore you get perks or they send you love. Or if you rate poorly, then they're going to send you an email or they're going to put you through a system that says, hey, listen, we messed up. How can we make this better in order to get you to a 10? So this is a method to essentially triage customers, and you can interrupt the process if they are upset and they are not satisfied, and you can then reward those who are satisfied or potentially put them in a position to actually recommend your product to other people. So let's create our NPS funnel, and I'm gonna tweak it a little bit from the last time that we did it. So I'm going to add a few more things. So for anyone who's joined me last week as well, we are going to change it up a little bit and make it more, we're going to make it better. We are going to make it so that we triage customers and send them to different places. And we're just going to introduce a couple new things that I think will be exciting. So let's go ahead and let's create our NPS funnel. So I have an NPS funnel from last time. If I go ahead and I open this up, we have a few things going on, and I will share this link to download this template in the chat area for anyone who wants the template from last week. But I am going to just restart this funnel from scratch so you can follow along and we can learn how to create an NPS funnel. So let's start from scratch. NPS funnel V2. All right. So we are going to start off this funnel when someone becomes a customer, or when someone gives us money, or they participate in our service. The way or the trigger or the benchmark that happens here may be different for your particular business based on a bunch of factors. If you're e-commerce, if you're a consultant, if you're an agency, if you're a personal trainer, what kind of business you have is going to determine which benchmark starts it off. But I'm going to use kind of like the universal one, which is the tag applied benchmark. And I'm just going to call this one becomes a customer. And then run when the customer tag is applied. And we're going to go ahead and save that. So I'm going to start this funnel when someone gets the customer tag applied to their contact record. I'm going to delete this apply tag step because we don't need that. And we are going to then add a delay timer, and we are going to wait 14 days. And the reason we're going to do that is we obviously need to give the customer time to consume the service, to experience the value that you're providing, to test all the features, and obviously also to wait till after your 14-day money-back guarantee. Those are the reasons why we want to wait a specific amount of time. So if you have a 30-day money-back guarantee, you might want to wait 30 days. Because if someone says unsatisfied and they get to the website, then the next thing they're going to go be looking at is the refund policy. So obviously we want to mitigate that as much as possible. So we are going to wait that refund period and also just enough time for them to actually try out the product, test the product, fall in love with the product, or decide that they really don't like the product. So we're going to wait that 14 days, and then after that first 14 days, we are going to send them an email. And this email is going to essentially ask them if they would recommend Groundhog or recommend whatever product that you have. I'm just going to call it "Would you recommend?" And I am going to just choose the email that I was using last time. So this is the email that we created the last office hours. I won't rewrite it, but I will walk you through it. So here's how it works. So hi first, it's been a month since you became a Groundhog member or your product name here member. We'd love your feedback so that we can make better decisions and better products that benefit you. Leaving feedback only takes a few seconds. How likely are you to recommend Groundhog to a colleague or friend? And then we have basically just a scale of 1 through 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here, let's see if I can make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We appreciate your membership and we're grateful to have you in our circle. And essentially what happens if they click one of those numbers, then that's going to tell us where they're at and whether they'd actually recommend Groundhog. And if they'd recommend us, we can assume that they're fairly satisfied with the product. And if they're not going to recommend us, we can also assume that they're unsatisfied. So I'm going to save this for now. That's what the NPS email looks like. I'm going to finish building the funnel before we go ahead and do the other stuff. We are going to wait another few days. Let's say, just say 3 days this time. And we are essentially just going to send the same email again. And the reason we're going to send the same email again is because we're going to put a benchmark at the end of this funnel that will pull them out of the sequence if they end up responding to the first one. But if they don't respond to the first one, we want them to respond to the second one or the third one. And we essentially just want to retry until they actually give us some feedback that is... until they give us some feedback that is useful to you. So after we send out those 2 emails, we are going to add another benchmark. We're going to use another tag applied benchmark. And this is going to trigger when they respond to the survey. I'm going to recall this survey because that's really what it is. So when they respond to the survey, we are going to pull them out of this particular funnel series. All right. So now what we got to do is now we actually have to set up the links and the method of which we are going to use to actually track which ones they click, which actual response they give. So to do that, we are going to use a tool in Groundhog called superlinks. So that is available under funnels. This is only available if you have the advanced features extension, which is available in any of our plans on the pricing page, pro through agency. You will have access to the superlinks feature. And we are going to create some superlinks. You can see that I already have a few here that I created from last office hours. We're going to create some more. So essentially what we need to do this is we need to have some feedback pages. So I have a page here called feedback. which I created. And I'm actually going to change the way that this works from last time. So I have a page here calling it feedback, which is essentially in the last session of office hours where I did the NPS funnel. I just sent everyone to this page regardless of what feedback they provided. I am going to change what we're going to do here. So I'm going to change this page to positive feedback. So this is, let's say, if they provide a 7 through 10. So they said they're 7 through 10 on the range of likely to recommend your product or service to somebody else. So what we're going to do here on this page, I'll come back to this later, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a method on this page to actually collect referrals from those people and actually have them follow through on the possibility of recommending someone to this product. We're going to come back to that later. Let's go back to our pages. We're going to create a new page, and we're going to call it negative feedback. And on this page, we are going to use our replacement shortcode. We're sorry to hear you haven't had a pleasant experience. First name. Please let us know if there is anything we can do to make it right. Contact us via phone, email, or schedule a meeting, and we'll be happy to resolve any issues that you are having. I cannot spell. There we go. So contact via phone, email, or schedule a meeting, and we'll be happy to resolve any issues that you're having. On this page, you are essentially going to send anyone who provides negative feedback, and you're going to provide the methods to contact you so you can do your best to actually improve their experience so they don't go leave bad reviews, so they don't become a detractor, and you can essentially try and salvage that customer relationship. So we have these two pages now. We have positive feedback and we have negative feedback. Positive feedback is anyone 7 through 10. Negative feedback, let's send everyone who's like 1 through 4 or maybe 1 through 5. So what do we do with 6? We can add a third page. That's like neutral feedback. Where we can just say GHR, thanks for the feedback. Is there anything we can do to improve your experience? And then we can put a couple of contact methods on this page. But this is kind of just like a neutral middle road level of feedback. So they're not super in love, they're not like out of love, or they don't hate it, but they're kind of just somewhere in the middle. We want to ask that person if there's a method or a way that we can actually improve their experience overall. So let's get back out of there. So we have these 3 pages. We have negative feedback, neutral feedback, positive feedback. Let's go back to our superlinks now. Groundhog superlinks. And we are going to create some superlinks and link those to those different feedback pages. So NPS 1, so if they give it a 1, we want them to go to our negative feedback page. So let's set that up. If they do 2, we want that to go to negative feedback. If they do 3, again, negative feedback. And for when they click each of those links, we want to make sure that we apply a tag at the same time. And that tag is going to be NPS 3 or NPS 4 or NPS the number that they responded with. So for each of these, NPS 1, NPS 2, NPS 3, we're actually applying that tag NPS 1, NPS 2, NPS 5, NPS 10, etc. And we are going to use that to do our searches and our reporting and everything later, and also to track when people actually click these super links in the funnel itself. So let's add a couple more here just so you get the gist. So we also want NPS 4, negative feedback. New super link. There we go. We have NPS 5, so we want NPS 6. So NPS 6 is like neutral feedback. So we'll send this to the neutral one. There we go. So NPS 6, there it is. Add super link. NPS 7. We're going to classify that as positive feedback. So we'll send it to the positive feedback page. And then we'll set up that super link. And then we'll just do the rest of them because we're so close. Positive feedback. Do we have 9? We do not have 9, so we'll create 9 as well. There we go. So now we have our super links for 1 through 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Excellent. I'm also going to edit the NPS 5 to go to the neutral page as well. So on the Superlink edit page, we're going to send NPS 5 to the neutral feedback page. There we go. And we'll update that. Excellent. So now we get to go back to our funnels. So in the email, our NPS survey email, we are going to be using those super links as the links for these numbers in our email. So we provide 2 methods for merging super links in emails. There's the source URL and the replacement code. For this one, we are just going to be using the source URL because, well, it's easier and it accepts the proper syntax for the link or the text editor in Groundhog, so we're just going to use it instead. So we have NPS 1, NPS 2, NPS 5. I did all those ones last time, so let's grab NPS 3. So we'll add that in. There we go. All right, so let's add our super link for 5. We'll add our super link for 4 as well. We'll add our super link for 6. We'll add it for 7. And you're just copying and pasting. 8. Oh, there you go. And 9. There we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in our email. So when they click those, what's going to happen is they will be directed to the feedback page where we had put the feedback page where we had put the responses and the things that we want to do for someone that responds to each of those answers. And we're also applying the tag, which we're going to use a little bit later in the funnel. So let's go ahead and we'll save this email. There we go. You can mark it as ready. You can set up all of this stuff here. And since we're using the same email in both places, we don't have to update it in both places. It'll automatically be updated. So now we need to, obviously, when we want to end the funnel, when someone has responded to the survey, we don't want to keep sending them emails, especially if we have maybe 3 or 4 iterations of this email that gets sent out to them every time we want them to respond. We obviously don't want to have that, so we're going to put a benchmark at the end, and we are going to add all of our NPS tags here. NPS 1, NPS 2, NPS 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So we're going to add all of those tags, and we're going to leave it as any. So if they get any of those tags by responding with any of those responses, then we are going to end this funnel. So let's go ahead and save that. And this is our rudimentary NPS funnel set up. Now, in order to take it further, maybe we want to engage with this customer on a yearly basis, and we want to be able to send them this survey, like, let's say, once per year. So if that's the case, we want to send them this survey once per year, we can do a couple things to do that. So up here, we are going to remove a tag or add another benchmark called tag removed, and we are going to restart the funnel when any of the NPS tags are removed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when any of the NPS scores are removed from their profile, we are going to restart the funnel, because again, if you have 2 benchmarks at the top of the funnel, either or will start the funnel. So after that, we are going to come down to the bottom of the funnel, and after that last benchmark, which essentially ends the funnel because it pulls them out of any of these emails because they responded, we are going to add a delay timer, and we're going to do wait 1 year. Which we have to do as 12 months in the delay timer. You could also do it like 6 months or maybe 1 month if you want to follow up on a shorter period, but I'm just going to leave it as 1 year. And then we are going to add an action to remove, if you can believe it. Oh, my internet is causing weird things to happen. There you go. And we're going to remove, if you can believe it, all of those tags. So again, going through the process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once those tags get removed right here at the end, this benchmark will trigger, and they'll just restart the whole thing. They'll receive all of these emails again, and then they'll come down here, they'll respond, you'll be able to use those tags in your searches and your reports, and then after a year, all of those tags will be removed, and then they'll restart the funnel all over again. So they'll be in this funnel essentially for the lifetime of the client, and as long as their contact email address remains marketable, and they'll be able to restart this funnel over and over and over again. And that is how you set up a recurring NPS funnel. And then we can actually go to the reports area. We can see the conversion rates. We can see which links people are clicking on. And most importantly, we'll be able to go to the contact search area and search by tag and see how many people have each of the NPS scores. So we can use that to say most of our customers are in fact satisfied. So we're going to close this funnel for now. Actually, let's go ahead and set it to active. Save that. So what we're going to do differently this time is, what do we do with the people who give positive feedback? What do we do with the people who give neutral feedback? And what do we do with the people who give negative feedback, right? There has to be different conversations that we have with each of those people to provide them a better experience, and obviously to mitigate any backlash or any possibly negative reviews that they leave out there in the wild. So we want to mitigate that as much as possible. So let's start off with the positive feedback. What do we do with the positive feedback people? They gave positive feedback. They're likely to recommend us to a customer or to a friend or to a colleague. How do we actually get them to do that? So we are going to create a new funnel. We're going to start from scratch again. And we're going to call it Refer a Friend. NPS Refer a Friend, because it's related to the NPS campaign. So this is going to provide an opportunity for someone to send an email or provide you an email address of a colleague or of a friend, and you can send them an email saying, hey, listen, so-and-so recommended that you may be able to benefit from our product. So let's go ahead. We don't want to activate this yet. We are going to use a web form. Refer a friend. We only need, we're going to need first and email address. Not going to need any more than that. So first name, last name, email address. And our submit button is going to say refer a friend. We have email, we have first name. That's all we're going to need. We can go ahead, save that, and preview it. Excellent. First name, email address, refer a friend. And then once they do that, we are going to we can actually just enable the Ajax submission process, so that way it just resets, so they can refer as many friends from this page as they want. So in our Ajax message, we are going to say, thanks, you can refer another friend by resubmitting the form with their details. There we go. And then we are going to send an email to this person. We're going to apply a tag that say they are an NPS referral. So we can track how many people actually come through the refer a friend funnel, because this is a different funnel for a different contact record, because when this form is submitted, it's going to not update the existing contact who's on the site. It's going to create, in fact, a new contact record for this person. So we're going to tag them as an NPS referral, saying they came from whoever. And we are going to say... been referred is the email. Let's go ahead and let's create a new email. We'll use one of our pro templates, and we are just going to use the plain text one because we're lazy. Oh, there's actually something I want to do first. Let's close this. Going back to our form, we also want to be able to track who referred this person, right? So we want to be able to say so-and-so referred you, so we actually need to create a custom field in their record that says this is who referred you. So we are going to change a few fields in our form here. So the first name, the first name of the new record, the first name of the referral, we are going to say to referrals first name. Referrals email. And then we are going to add another row, which is going to be a custom field. And we are going to simply have it be a text area. Going to make it a required field. And we're going to call it your name. And we're going to give it the meta name of referral contact name. And we're going to insert that. Now, Groundhog Hack, what you can do is you can actually add a value to the shortcode of the field. And we are going to add a replacement code there. And we are going to put the value of full name. Now, the reason this works is so they click the super link, which comes from the email, which means that they have a tracking cookie enabled, which means that when they get to the form, the replacements codes will work for that contact's tracking and not the new contact that they're creating. And then the value is going to be the full name of the contact that's referring the friend, so that we can add the metadata to the new contact record, and then in the email say so-and-so referred you. It's brilliant. It's genius. And it's super easy to do. So we're going to just add another field, a text field that says your name, which is the person who's referring the friend. And we're going to give that the referral contact name as the meta field. And then the value is going to be set to the current contact's full name. So hopefully that all makes sense and you're following along. If this doesn't make sense, guess what? I'm going to give everyone links to just download these funnels so that they can install them automatically and they don't have to worry about any of this stuff. All right, so now that we've done that, I am going to copy that for later, because when we come to our email, now is when we want to actually use that. So the title, we can just say NPS Refer a Friend email, not really imaginative. In the subject line, we are then going to reference the person who referred this person. So referral contact name, that might be merged to something like Adrian Toby thought you might like this, or something like that. That may look spammy. Actually, I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. Well, we'll leave it for lack of a better subject line idea at the moment. Referral's first name, or sorry, the person who referred you's first name thought you might like this. Let's go ahead and let's edit our text here. Thought you might be able to benefit from our product. Because you've been referred, we are actually giving you the opportunity to claim, I don't know, 15% off your first month, your first 3 months, forever. We might want to actually explain what our product does. We thought you might be able to benefit from our product, which is we offer blank to blank that helps you blank faster Something like that. If that sounds like something you need, look no further. And because you've been referred by, again, we're gonna build authority by using the actual person who referred this person's name. We're actually giving the opportunity. We're actually going to give you 15% off. Excellent. Find out more, and then your link goes here. Best, and then your signature goes at the bottom. So that's, we're only going to send one email. We're not going to send any more than that. We're just going to send the one. If they don't open it at one time, I guess we're shit out of luck. You can send more, but I don't recommend it because then it's spam essentially. So I'd suggest like this one email is probably as far as you can go, especially with things like GDPR and those legislations. We want to mitigate our exposure there, and this probably might not even be legal for GDPR. I don't know, but it's certainly legal here in Canada and in the United States to have this kind of system. And have to look into that a little bit more. I didn't really look into it before this. Okay, so just to recap, we're going to send an email to the referred person, which is referral contact name. Thought you might be able to benefit from our product. We offer blank to blank that helps you blank faster. If that sounds like something you need, look no further. Because you've been referred by that person, we are going to give you 15% off. To find out more, link to thing, and then sign off with your signature. Go ahead and mark that as ready, and then let's go ahead and close that. Excellent. So this is our NPS Refer a Friend campaign, and we can actually track. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's track the number of referrals that actually end up becoming a member, or actually end up purchasing something, or end up clicking the link. So we can do it with a couple things. So we can track the link clicked. So responded to referral email. So we can actually grab this link, and in the refer a friend email, we can actually put this link here to track, did it again. To track how many people actually click that link and thus responded to this email. So we can do that. We can also track how many of these referrals actually become a customer. So we can track becomes a customer. So there's lots of ways that we can then introduce to some reporting to be able to see this referral campaign is actually working really, really well. So that is something we can definitely do. So again, refer a friend. We tag them as an NPS referral. We send them an email that says you've been referred by whoever. We can then track if they become a customer, or we can track if we just want to set up tracking for they click that link in that email. So lots of things we can do there. So we're going to go ahead and close that out. Actually, no, we're not done with that yet. Whoops. So the refer a friend funnel. Now what we need to do is we need to grab the shortcode. We need to grab the shortcode for this form. And then we need to go to our page, our feedback page, just down here. And we actually want to put our form. So we are going to add some verbiage to our positive feedback page that says, thanks for your feedback. First, it's going to help us create a better user experience for you. If you can think of anyone you might know who might benefit from our products, submit their email below and we'll send them a 15% off discount. Be upfront with what you're going to do with that person's email address. Be fully transparent. We can go ahead and update that. And if I preview it, there we go. So we have, thanks for the feedback, referrals first name. So if I can put in John, and then I can put in John at example.com. And then my name goes here. And then I click on refer a friend. But the funnel is not active at the moment, it looks like, so it's not accepting submissions. But so let's go ahead and change that. Active. Try that again. There we go. Thanks. You can refer another friend by resubmitting the form with their details. And then that resets, and then I can just go ahead and refer as many friends as I want, which is excellent. Excellent, I tell you. So that's pretty cool. So that's the positive feedback. We also want to make sure that we're dealing with the negative feedback, because yikes, what do we do there? So for the negative feedback, people, typically what you want to put here is you want to put your contact information or various different ways to get in touch with you to get better help. I can show you what Groundhog's triage form looks like. So we have a support triage page, which I can share with you. So for people who submit our NPS funnel and they're not happy for whatever reason, we send them to this page and then we say, we're sorry, you were unsatisfied, let's make this right. We're committed to providing a stellar customer experience. Book a meeting with me and let me know how we can wow you. And then this is a link to a booking calendar where they can speak with either me or one of our support agents. And we'll do our best to make sure that they get satisfied and that we solve whatever problem it is that they're currently having. So that we can mitigate any bad negative feedback that they might leave out there in the universe, and also so we can just provide them a great experience, because that's the promise that we made when they originally signed up for our products. So that's what our triage page looks like. So for your negative feedback page, I'd recommend something similar. Just stick in your Groundhog booking calendar there, stick in maybe just a support form, or maybe some sort of video, or really anything that might make their day just a little bit better. So let's get rid of that. We can go back here. So that's what goes on your negative feedback page. On the neutral feedback page, you might just want to put like a regular contact form, because basically we're just asking, is there anything we can do to make your experience better? Maybe you want to put the referral form as well, but they're probably not going to work best because, again, they put in a 5 or a 6, so that's not really excited to recommend your product. So maybe just a form to collect generic feedback, like a contact form or something like that would probably work best here. So that is, to all intents and purposes, the NPS funnel. So we have a couple things going on here. We have our Refer a Friend funnel, our NPS Refer a Friend, which will help you get more customers by actually engaging with people who are likely to recommend your products. We have our actual NPS funnel, which is actually a recurring thing, which happens once every 12 months or whatever timestamp you actually want it to. And we have our 3 NPS feedback pages. We have negative feedback, neutral feedback, and positive feedback, each with a different customer experience, so that you're not providing kind of like this generic thing and you're giving people a tailored experience depending on where they're currently at in terms of how satisfied they are with your organization. So how do you get this? Well, so for everyone who's on the call today, you all get links to download these funnel templates. So here is the one for the NPS funnel. in the chat is where those are going. So we have the NPS funnel. We also need the refer a friend funnel. That is also going in the chat. So you can download those two funnels and you can set those up and you can start collecting referrals and you can start collecting customer feedback that's actually valuable and will provide you insights into how happy your customers are and to make sure that you're just generally doing a good job and you're fulfilling on your promises. All right, I'm going to take a pause here because we covered a lot. We made emails, we were doing super links, we were building pages, we had forms going, so we did a lot. So is there anyone who might have any questions at this point in time about the NPS funnel, why it matters, why it's important, how exactly it works? I'd love to hear any questions that are out there. Jesse is asking, can you give a link to edit meta with replacements? I'm not quite sure. I think there's a word in that sentence missing, Jesse, so you might just want to recheck that. Harry says, thank you, gotta go. You're welcome, Harry. I'm glad you got value out of this call. So if you're talking about this funnel, we didn't actually cover this funnel in today's office hours. But for anyone who's curious, you can actually edit or use replacement codes in the edit meta step. So if you wanted to track like a coupon expiry date and store that in a field, you'd be able to do that here. So if you want a link to download this, sure. There's not exactly shattering information. So there we go. Jen is asking, will this video be posted in YouTube so we can rewatch it again? Yes, it will. All office hours recordings get posted to YouTube. So Jen, you will be able to rewatch this on YouTube, and actually once the stream is done, it stays on Facebook as well. So you'll actually just be able to rewatch the whole thing on Facebook even before it gets uploaded to YouTube. So, but Jen, yes, the answer is you will be able to catch this on YouTube as well. All right. Do we have any questions related to Groundhog, marketing, email marketing, etc.? We have got 4 minutes before I have to run. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so that's okay. If anyone needs additional help beyond the answers you were able to get from this particular session of office hours, we have lots of resources for you. You can go to Groundhog Academy, academy.groundhog.io. We have lots of free courses. We have recordings of office hours. We have everything you need to essentially be a Groundhog rockstar there. If you need help, you can find a partner on our certified partner directory. They do the implementation and you get just to kind of just sit back, relax, and run your business. If you would rate Groundhog a 10 out of 10 in terms of would you recommend us to a friend, you can do that. You can become an affiliate and you can register for an affiliate account, and you will actually be able to earn recurring commissions on anything that your friends buy, essentially. So that's kind of cool. If you're not following us on social channels, you should start. We're on all of them: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all handles at GroundhogWP. If you have yet to leave a 5-star review, we are so close to 80 5-star reviews, which would be really, really, really cool. So for anyone who's on the call, who's really having a great experience with Groundhog, who loves coming to these office hour sessions and just loves hanging out with me in general, please go to our WordPress.org repository listing and leave a 5-star review. We're just 2 away from 80 5-star reviews. If you could help us get there, that would be super duper awesome. If you have additional questions that you did not get to ask during this office hour session, have no fear. Lots of ways for you to get help. You can go to our Twitter account and add us on Twitter. You can continue to post in the Facebook group. You continue to comment on this. You can message our live chat. You can send us an email. You can open a support ticket. There are lots of ways that you can get in touch with us, and we are here to serve you and support you and make sure that you have access to the tools that you need to succeed. Yash Mystery is saying, I heard that there's job openings. Yes, there is. We're currently in the process of looking for someone who's incredibly experienced in React development, and as well as WordPress plugin development and Groundhog development. There's a plus in general. If that's you, then please message our live chat. Nancy will be happy to communicate with you and walk you through the process of applying. But yeah, we are currently looking to expand our development team. That is something that we've been working on for the last month, essentially. So we are certainly open to any help that maybe exists out there on this call. That'd be great. All right, thanks everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see everyone next week, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another session of Office Hours.